We're gonna take a break and we'll come right back, Dominica. Right back, right back. Enjoy your property, protect your property. You homeowner and businessman, protect your property, enjoy your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till your flood again, can't wait till your roof fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season. Insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
I see Golo in shopping for farming supplies. So I ask him, what are you doing inside Bloombox? Do you have a farm? He tell me, that's how the hell sort. I've been married 37 years. Look at my money farm. He say, no, not woman. Like land for farming crops. And then you understand. Bloombox is the most affordable on island. Knapsacks starting at only $57.71. Elsewhere, it's $300 plus. Cutlass seeds, seeding trays, nursery pots, sales of potting mix, all at way better prices than anywhere else. Fertilizers, 3-in-1 multi-tool, and so much more. Located on Federation Drive, Goodwill. Second property on the right after the Valley Link Road and on the corner of Drury Lane and Hanover Street in Roseau. Bloombox. Let's bloom together.
On you, Me Bell Bagay, the biggest mini one-day only Me Bell Bagay market sale. It's happening in Shimenef in Port Michel on Saturday, August 2nd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. All tradesmen, housewives, carpenters, vendors, chefs, boutique owners, carpenters, homeowners, gift buyers, gift senders, gift givers. Bring your family, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your business partner. Everybody is taking home only Bell Bagay. From Shimenef in Port Michel, August 2nd, by bus, by car, taxi, by foot, bicycle, mobile, and tricycle. Come early to avoid the rush as everything must go. Coffee makers, hot cups, petty tools, portable drills, handle tools, multiple speed, floating vegetable blender, juicers, oyster, mini choppers, hyper tough, rechargeable, handy power saws, hair dryers, ladies, spin brush, hair sets, ladies, all occasion fashionable shoes, and so many other Me Bell Bagay products to choose from. For one day only, Saturday, August 2nd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Shimenef, Point Michel, Saturday coming.
Good afternoon, Dominica. We're making a stop here with the international brand Rubis. We're talking to the representative today for a few minutes. I'll get into real talk. Let's do this and we'll come back, Dominica. It's that time.
David, you sure this car will get us home?
Tonya, I know my God. Trust me. That can take us to town and back on an eater. Wow, not now.
David, I told you to put in Rubis Ultratech fuel last week. That gas is longer lasting for sure. It improves fuel economy, saves you money, and maintains vehicle performance. What sort of car man you supposed to be?
What does Ultratech Fuel's greater fuel economy mean to you? You get more miles for less, but only the best in your tank. Ultratech, only from Rubis. Do you want more miles for less? Rubis Ultratech gasoline and diesel uses advanced fuel technology to optimize your vehicle's performance and improve its fuel economy. By removing deposits, Ultratech maximizes your vehicle's performance, keeping your engine clean and running like new. What does Ultratech greater fuel economy mean to you? You get more miles for less, but only the best in your tank. Ultratech Fuel, only from Rubis. Get Rubis, get going, get Rubis, get going.
All right, let's say good afternoon there to Fernalda Henry Vidal. I know that name very, very, very well. Good afternoon to you, Fernalda. Long time. How you doing?
Good afternoon, Matt. I'm doing well. How are you?
You're sounding very well. We need you to raise that voice a bit there. We want the world to hear you. Of course, when we're talking Rubis, and I'm sure everybody's asking, but what is Rubis? It's a household name in Dominica. What is Rubis, or who is Rubis? Tell me about that.
Matt, well, before I even answer this question, I really just want to say a special good afternoon to all Rubis customers listening. And for those of you who are not yet a Rubis customer, I also want to say special good afternoon to my colleagues who are listening today. Matt, just to answer your question, for those of you who don't know, Rubis is a leader in fuel distribution across the Caribbean. Here in Dominica, we are your trusted fuel supplier that is both gasoline and ULSD. We are also the distributors for Total lubricants on Island Mass. And for those of you who are wondering, like, where we are located, I just want to mention that we are located across stations across the island. If we go further south, we have Castle Comfort Service Station. We have our Canefield Service Station, ACS 7-Eleven, which is a very popular location. We're in the north in Portsmouth. We're also in Marigot, as well as the scenic community of Calvishi.
Wow. I can tell you, so Rubis is clearly a household name in Dominica, but why Rubis? What sets you apart from the competition? You know, we have a lot of competition in Dominica. What sets you apart?
Matt, I don't know about a lot of competition, but one of the things that we try to focus on is our people, the difference that with our people and the customer experience. We place a lot of focus on training our service ambassadors so that whenever you come to a Rubis service station, it's always a pleasant and safe and professional environment. We also prioritize, Matt, we use a word very often in Rubis that we say pristine environment. And we also prioritize on ensuring that our locations are clean, welcoming. So whether you're making a stop for air or really just a windshield wipe, we've got two offerings that is absolutely free at a Rubis service station. We just want to make sure that it's still valued all the time.
We've talked about the people and the environment. What about the fuel itself?
Matt, if you go to our service station, you will see that we are branded on our dispenser saying Ultratech. And what does that mean? It's a brand that we use for fuel. And why do we do that? It's because our fuel is specially formulated. There's an additive added, and this was specially formulated for Rubis.
Okay. So what are the benefits of this Ultratech treated fuel?
Matt, just to slow down a little bit. So I was wondering, I was reading this thing, you know, I started working at Rubis and I'm reading, I'm saying, what are they talking about? Why would they want to put an additive in this? And I'm not a mechanic, but, you know, in my own understanding, I had to kind of reach out to my RTW drivers and say, what is this? What are they talking about? So Matt, an engine, how it works? It basically when, and you would maybe know that, Matt, whenever the fuel mixes with air in what they call the combustion chamber, what
Okay.
happens is that over time, there's build-up in the engine. So what our Ultratech fuel does is that it helps to reduce those deposits over time. So you get a cleaner engine, you improve your fuel efficiency, and obviously reduce harmful emissions on the environment. So why not, Matt? Why not ensure that whenever you drive to a service station, that you get in the best value, you get in a good product, and you're also impacting positively on the environment?
You sound like a professional mechanic at this time. Now, what? Tell me, what are the benefits of Ultratech treated fuel? The benefits.
As I mentioned earlier, Matt, some of the benefits are the cleaner engine, improve the fuel economy, and when we hear fuel economy, means that it's easier on your pocket. Reduce exhaust emission. We spoke about the environmental benefits. For our diesel drivers, there's also a faster tank filling, so there's less foaming that takes place when you use Ultratech. And Matt, as I mentioned before, lower impact on the environment.
We're talking fuel. What about diesel? Is it the same for diesel? Is it fuel treated? Is fuel treated better for both diesel and gasoline engines?
Oh, definitely, Matt. Ultratech is branded, and that is for both our gasoline as well as our diesel engine. So no matter where you are on island, whatever Rubis station that you go to, our product is additized, our fuel is additized, so you get the same benefit all over.
No, environmental science is a big thing these days. So, what about the environmental impact this fuel will have?
Environmental impact. So I mentioned this earlier, Matt, during the conversations that we have having, because I cannot help but kind of product that we do is it's a hazardous product, and we're trying our best to ensure that whenever you buy or you purchase fuel from Rubis, that the impact on the environment is easier. So definitely, it's also taking itself, it burns cleaner, it reduces the harmful emissions. So it's better for your engine, and it's also better for the air that we breathe.
All right, I'll tell you what, just take a break, breathe a little bit, and we'll come right back, Dominic, after this break.
David, you
Thank
sure
you,
this guy
Matt.
will get us
Thank
home?
you. Hold on.
Tonya, I know my God. Trust me. That can take us to town and back on an eater. Wow, not now.
David, I told you to put in Rubis Ultratech fuel last week. That gas is longer lasting for sure. It improves fuel economy, saves you money, and maintains vehicle performance. What sort of car man you supposed to be?
What does Ultratech Fuel's greater fuel economy mean to you? You get more miles for less. Put only the best in your tank. Ultratech, only from Rubis. Do you want more miles for less? Rubis Ultratech gasoline and diesel uses advanced fuel technology to optimize your vehicle's performance and improve its fuel economy. By removing deposits, Ultratech maximizes your vehicle's performance, keeping your engine clean and running like new. What does Ultratech greater fuel economy mean to you? You get more miles for less. Put only the best in your tank. Ultratech Fuel, only from Rubis. Get Rubis, get going, get Rubis, get going.
All right, I'll tell you what, we seem to be talking to an expert, so we need some more questions here. Are there any myths about the misconceptions about fuel treated? Talk to me about that, Ronaldo.
What we found is that whenever I speak of Ultratech or even comments and feedback coming from the public, I have found that person saying that, Ultratech is for luxury vehicles only. I just want to clear that myth today and just reiterate that the Ultratech fuel is for every single vehicle. So whether you're driving a car, a truck, a van, your motorbike, or even just operating a commercial fleet, Ultratech is for every single vehicle that exists.
So where is the treated fuel available?
And excuse me, Matt?
I'm asking, where is treated fuel available?
I missed that, Matt. You're a little cracky.
I said, where is treated fuel available?
Oh, Matt. So treated fuel is available at all our Rubis service stations. Only at Rubis service station. This was specially formulated for Rubis. I mentioned our locations earlier. We're right here in Canefield. We're also in Castle Comfort. We're in the north in Portsmouth, Calibishi, as well as Marigot.
So how does all of this tie into Rubis' brother goals? I know you have brother goals. How does this tie into the brother goals?
Matt, if you look at, if you listen to what I'm saying, I keep mentioning the environment and sustainability and that sort of stuff. It is one of our objectives to reduce our carbon footprint. And this is one of the ways that we're taking this initiative. So we're ensuring that the product that we're using is cleaner and much better for the environment. So this supports what our goals are.
I know the customers always get excited when we talk about promotions. Are there any promotions coming up at this time?
But that's what we do best. I think we're the only service station on island that promotes and incentivizes our customers. When we do promotions, we do it big. So definitely we have promotions coming up to support basically Ultratech, and just a way of interacting and giving back to our customers. So what you need to do is pay attention to Q95 or your favorite radio station, as well as it would be good to follow us on our social media pages. If you follow us at Rubis Caribbean, that is both on Facebook and Instagram, so you could hear more about the service offerings. Not if you look in my office today, still the boxes. I just got a few premiums and getting ready for our next promotion. So there's definitely something to look out for.
There's something to look out for there at Rubis. Now, I know there's still some hesitant customers. Why should they go to Rubis?
Why Rubis?
Why Rubis? Yes. Yeah, I'm saying that because
I feel like I have convinced the listeners and the customers already. For those who are just joining and probably hadn't been paying attention to my voice, basically, I like to say that purchasing fuel is not really just coming and going to a service station and getting gas in your tank or diesel in your tank and moving. For me, it's like a balanced diet, ensuring that you have a healthy meal. You also want to make sure that the fuel that's put in your tank is clean and it's good for your engine. Matt, so what I would like to urge our customers today is just be intentional about their purchase, about purchasing fuel, and be intentional about purchasing fuel, and just ensure that this is something that they continue doing over time, and you will see the results and the benefit that I speak of today.
Clearly, you did a good job, Tacky. I call it Tacky because I know her for a long time.
I was wondering if that would have gone for
Vinalda Henry Vidal. Thank you very much, representative there of course, Rubis gas stations all around the island there. Thank you. I hope we can do it again. I hope we can do it again soon. I hope we can do it again soon, okay?
Sure, Matt. Have a good one.
Rubis sounds like the smart choice. Go to a Rubis gas station today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. When we come back, we'll talk more after this break.
Do you want more miles for less? Rubis Ultratech gasoline and diesel uses advanced fuel technology to optimize your vehicle's performance and improve its fuel economy. By removing deposits, Ultratech maximizes your vehicle's performance, keeping your engine clean and running like new. What does Ultratech greater fuel economy mean to you? You get more miles for less. Put only the best in your tank. Ultratech Fuel, only from Rubis.
Get Rubis, get going, get Rubis, get going.
David, you sure this car will get us home?
Tonya, I know my God. Trust me. That can take us to town and back on an eater. Wow, not now.
David, I told you to put in Rubis Ultratech fuel last week. That gas is longer lasting for sure. It improves fuel economy, saves you money, and maintains vehicle performance. What sort of car man you supposed to be?
What does Ultratech Fuel's greater fuel economy mean to you? You get more miles for less. Put only the best in your tank. Ultratech, only from Rubis.
Carifacta is connections, community, and unity. It is understanding each other without saying a word. Separated by water, united in purpose. One voice, one story, one song. Carry Festa is we thing. Come for Carry Festa 15 in Barbados. Book your stay now at visitbarbados.org/Carry Festa.
Dominica, get ready for a weekend of GAM, creativity and culture. The GEMS Artisan Market is coming to the Fort Young Hotel from August 1st to the 3rd, and you're invited to experience the best of local art, craft, music, and community, all in one beautiful space. Handcrafted products, painting, locally crafted goods, spoken word, acoustic music, poetry, and more. Come support 32 of Dominica's most talented artisans and enjoy performances from amazing artists. Entry is free, so bring your family, friends, and celebrate Dominican excellence. Follow GEMS Foundation on Facebook for more updates and don't miss it. The market is open on Friday from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., Saturday from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., and Sunday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
All you Me Bell Bagay, the biggest mini one-day only Me Bell Bagay market sale is happening in Chimenef in Port Michel on Saturday, August 2nd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. All tradesmen, housewives, carpenters, vendors, chefs, boutique owners, carpenters, homeowners, gift buyers, gift senders, gift givers. Bring your family, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your business partner. Everybody is taking home only Bell Bagay. From Chimenef in Port Michel, August 2nd, by bus, by car, taxi, by foot, bicycle, mobilette, and tricycle. Come early to avoid the rush as everything must go. Coffee makers, hot cups, petty tools, portable drills, handle tools, multiple speed, protein vegetable blender, juicers, oyster mini choppers, hyper tough, rechargeable handy power saws, hair dryers, lady spin brush, hair sets, ladies all occasion fashionable shoes, and so many other Me Bell Bagay products to choose from. For one day only, Saturday, August 2nd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Chimenef, Point Michel, Saturday coming. Friday night, August the 1st, surrounded by the refreshing secret hideaway. Musical history will be made at Azil's Country Club in Bourne at a concert with hundreds of patrons converging at the country club and the ambiance to enjoy one night of soul and soul. All night hit songs of yesteryear, the best of oldie goldies, a spectacular musical showdown between my Roy Michael Proctor and DJ Cody, two master musical maestros. August 1st at Zale's Country Club in Bourne. Only 10 easy lakhs Sunday morning dollars. August 1st, but people coming from everywhere for that show. We going to hear that.
If you know quality, then you must know the manufacturers of Dominica's finest rums. Belfast Estate Limited, over 80 years leading the industry with exceptional standards and formidable customer service. We present the manufacturers of BB Rum, Soca Rum, Red Cap Rum, Cask Rum, and the signature Belfast Estate Rum Punch. With island-wide distribution daily, Belfast Estate Limited has cemented its mark as the distributor of choice for products like Eldorado range of rums and creams, Kubali Bear, Corona Bear, Guinness, Root Boy drink, and of course, Sunblast juices, Topper snacks, Vitamalt, and Pine Hill juices. Call the office at 440-7032 or visit the distribution outlet at Jimmy Dominica. Follow on Facebook or Instagram at Belfast Estate. Belfast Estate Limited, your leading manufacturer and distributor of rums in Dominica.
Need one trusted place to stock up for your home, shop, or business? Fine Foods Inc. Distribution has got you covered. From dry goods and frozen foods to your favorite drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, plus all the household must-have. We've got it all under one roof. We're right here in Jimmy Dominica, and yes, we deliver. Whether you're running a supermarket, a corner shop, a bar, or just like your pantry full and happy, Fine Foods Inc. brings you the best brands you know and love. Great prices, top-tier service, trusted products. 255-6810 or 316-0164 or drop by our Jimmy location to check out what's in store. Fine Foods Inc.
Fine Foods Inc. The biggest distributor for the biggest brand.
All right, Dominica, good afternoon to you. I know you're waiting for the talk, but one of your favorite guys, one of your favorite guests, is here with me this afternoon there, and we continue to talk from a business perspective, the budget. What's in there for the private sector? I'm sure we'll find out if there are any. He's a straight shooter. We have him every other week or every week sometimes. The people love his perspective. So let me say good afternoon to you, Mr. Anderson Jolly. Good afternoon to you, sir. How you doing? Can you unmute your mic there? I'm not, of course, engaging there. So stick around. Let me see if we can get us, tech to work on that. Unmute your mic there. Are you there? Hello? I'm not hearing you very clearly. Are you hearing me?
Now I can hear you.
Are you there?
I'm there, Matt. How are you doing this afternoon?
I am doing as well as you are. How are you doing, sir?
It's a pleasure to be back on your show. Good afternoon to all the Dominicans and everybody else listening to Q95. It's always a pleasure to join you for a show, Matt, and talk about some of the issues that we have in Dominica and some of the ways that I myself understand it and how we can move forward and get some ideas going on the platform.
And of course, this week we spoke entirely on the budget presented there by the finance minister, Mr. McIntyre.
Yes,
And
that is true.
You heard some of the promises made there, in terms of relief for many customers out there. And I just want to start off with that voice clip there from Mr. McIntyre this afternoon. Andy, so just listen for a minute, and then
I will.
we'll continue. This one.
Expanding the list of exempted items in the upcoming financial year.
Let's take it.
Continue supporting families across the country. We'll be expanding the list of exempted items in the upcoming financial year for a period of 6 months. Exemption of value-added tax on salted herrings, codfish, onions, garlic, split peas, red beans, black-eyed peas, lentils, pigeon peas, cream of wheat, cornmeal, oats, luncheon meat, canned corned beef, canned herring, canned sardines, canned tuna, canned mackerel, cereals, wheat, bran, etc., biscuits, unsweetened as well, orange juice, tomato ketchup, toothpaste, laundry detergents, toilet paper, sanitary napkins. And Mr. Speaker, will also remove import duty on pigeon peas, luncheon meat, canned corned beef, cereals, biscuits, orange juice, tomato ketchup, toothpaste, laundry detergent, almond milk, soy milk. These additions will take effect October 1, 2025.
All right. I got a call from a doctor yesterday. I won't call his name, but I'm sure when he hit that list, he was basically taken aback. But you too, you're a health professional, Andy, as somebody described it as a canned budget. Corned beef, canned tuna, canned sardine. Let me give you a chance to help you to what did you make of the 2025-26 budget?
Well, Matt, it sounds like it's a canned budget because I would question one thing. Dr. McIntyre actually has a doctor in front of his name, and I believe he was the one reading the list, right, Matt? Is that correct?
He was, of course.
And if he repeats the word canned one more time, I think we should all recommend that he have his doctor or Dr. Rate removed from his name, because if this is what you're suggesting to your patients to go forward with, which is canned corned beef, salted foods which have a high degree of salt, and most of these foods that he recommend might have a very high degree of preservatives. I'm going to tell you, we should recommend that he have his doctorate removed. It's obviously clear that this was not well thought of. And if you notice, Matt, the list was repetitive. There were a lot of things that got repeated. And I'm wondering whether this administration is trying to bring us back into, I wouldn't say slavery, but close to it, because this was when we ate a lot of canned foods. After hurricanes, when there were significant disasters, those foods could be preserved in a can because they didn't need any refrigeration. But just to bring the government up to date, we now have refrigerators. There's a significant push to actually eat healthy. We have a significant portion of our population that actually has diabetes, hypertension, and a few other diseases. We should really be thinking, and it obviously goes to show, Matt, that our government is not healthy. And I'm not talking about financially, I'm not talking about physically, but our government is just not healthy. I mean, everything about them is not healthy. Their budget wasn't healthy. The list of items on the budget wasn't healthy. And there's a few parliamentarians in there that don't look healthy themselves. So I'm just going to say this was the most appalling thing. In fact, I showed this to a few other people, pharmacists, and I said, they, and a couple of people sent this to me and said, this is what your government is proposing. What do they think you guys are? Do they think you live on a plantation? And I said, I believe our government actually believes Dominica is a plantation, Matt. And I would ask them to really, before they put these things out, make sure they speak to a good nutritionist or a health professional. I don't think Dr. McIntyre has the required knowledge to probably put a good list forward. And the amount of time.
But
Go ahead.
Andy, he's a doctor. You'd think he would do better.
Which is why I'm recommended to have his doctorate revoked. Because it's obvious. I mean, any doctor will tell you that is the worst set of foods that you should eat. This is not something you should be proud of. And Matt, if I come to your home and everything that you're eating is canned, I'm going to tell you I am walking out your door. In fact, I'm going to tell you something, Matt. I went out to dinner at an Italian restaurant. This was just not a regular Italian. It wasn't really a really good Italian restaurant. And the gentleman ordered pasta, and he ordered some meatballs with the pasta, and it came out. And I noticed that he wasn't even eating his food, and he said, "Yeah, this is dressing or sauce from a can." They can tell. People can tell that those are not real tomatoes. People can tell that your beans come from a can. And while it's a good gesture, Matt, it's not something that we need right now. And I appreciate the gesture, and I appreciate the government actually trying to put a proposal forward. But we have to make sure, if we are putting a proposal together, Matt, at this point in time, there's so much knowledge out there, there's so much everything out there. Why can't our government ask counseling from people? People that can tell them these are not the items that people really want to eat. So the government is obviously, and I am going to ask you a question, Matt, and I would like you.
Andy, you know, some people might defend it and say, well, that's what the poor people can afford. This is a poor man's budget. How do you respond to that?
Well, it was put forward by somebody who's mentally poor. I'm going to tell you that. Because Matt, if we go, and this is an insult to the Dominican people, and I'm going to ask you one simple question, Matt. If we go to Mr. Skerritt's home or any of the other ministers' home, do you honestly think that they're eating canned corned beef, they're eating canned tuna, they're eating canned sardines? Do you honestly think Mr. Skerritt goes out and he eats canned mackerel? Do you honest? I don't think so, and which just shows what he thinks of us. I'm going to tell you. So if the Dominican people,
for a couple of months now, years, he's always encouraging persons to eat eating locally. Plant what you
E-
grow.
Exactly. So this is why I'm thinking this is 180 degrees from what Mr. Scarrett actually preaches all the time. He wants people to eat healthy. He wants us to lose weight. He wants us to, and then he puts canned mackerel in front of us like we're animals, like we're dogs. Matt, I don't feed my dog canned mackerel. I'm going to tell you that right now. Why would you put that in front of people? Don't get me wrong. Canned mackerel is good. I love having mackerel every now and then. I love having you. But I mean, this is not what you want to put duty free on for people. This is not what people are struggling with, man. This is very, very poor
So
and
what
very
are the
disappointing.
alternatives in terms of what you would want to put on the plate that people can afford?
Well, I think what we need to think of is a healthier diet. And to tell you the truth, Matt, we actually have a lot of things that are grown in Dominica that can be used very, very well. But I would like to see a list that's probably a little bit healthier. Foods that are good for you. We're talking foods that are high in fiber. We're talking probably foods that are, I would like to see. We have a lot of fish in Dominica. I would like to see more fish eaten. The provisions that I would like to see, Matt, were things to enhance the good things that we already have. For instance, maybe help the fishermen bring in more fish. Maybe help the providers who provide good lettuce, cabbage, carrots, those type of things. Bring some of that to the table and let's see how we can make a healthier meal. We should have people eating more salads. We should have people eating more fish. We should have people eating more good meat and so on. But I don't think canned foods are the way forward, Matt. And I really don't think that's where we want to start. Not only that, Matt, the other thing I think Dominicans should be insulted as, none of those products are produced in Dominica, Matt.
Hold that
No,
thought. Hold that thought. Let me introduce a call. Are you there, caller?
Hello, blessed day to both of you. Andy, hi, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Finally, I get to correspond with you. And how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, doing good. How can I help?
You know, I am so disgusted as a health and wellness professional here in Dominica, who every day I am trying to push forward into eating healthy and exercise and taking care of ourselves, trying to prevent these non-communicable diseases. And here, this budget is passed, these tax, that, whatever they're saying to give people a pass on, and it's all canned food. Canned food. I
Yeah.
was so disgusted just reading the list of what is on there, and I'm like, why aren't you putting the healthy foods on the list that are from here, naturally grown here? Because going to the supermarket, like I had to pay $14 for a cabbage. Okay, you're putting corned beef and stuff like, you're right, after hurricane. That's what people had after the hurricane because they couldn't refrigerate their food, they couldn't store anything. And it's like an insult to the Dominican people. And if we're trying to say we're trying to limit, people going to the hospital and all these diseases out there, you don't put these kind of things on the list. It's like a slap in the face. And I am
Well,
totally
well, I,
disgusted.
well, I think it's a clear example of what I wouldn't say our ministers, but the people that we've appointed to run the government. This is clearly what they think of Dominicans because this is their idea of us. They really don't want the best to us, Matt. And I don't. I think this is a clear example for the Dominican people to see that what's happening up top with the administration up top, the administration does not have their best interests in mind at all. There's nothing that this government is doing that is corrective, stimulative, or healthy for the Dominican public. And it's clear. It's clearer to me.
Yes, I'm still here. I'm still here. Yes, and you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Because it's like you don't respect people here. If that's what you're saying you're putting on the list, that is not respecting our people. And if it's a poor man's diet, you want the poor man to eat healthier so he can avoid going to the doctor, to the hospital,
Exactly.
having hypertension, having diabetes, and all those things from eating the crap.
Yeah. It just shows. It just shows. It just shows
All
lack
right,
of
Paul, thank you very
respect.
much. And feel free to interact with our guest here this afternoon, there, Mr. Andy Jolly, himself a pharmacist and very concerned about this list that was presented there by our finance minister, Mr. McIntyre. Back to you, Andy. Yes?
Well, Matt, here's what I'm thinking about the list. I think this is a level. Well, first of all, Dr. McIntyre read the list, which was deplorable. I'm going to tell you that. If I was Dr. McIntyre, I would have had somebody else come up and read this list. There's no way, as a
I
health
think you're saying
professional,
that list it was not prepared by somebody who knows what they're talking about.
or who is a health professional. There's no way any health professional will tell me that's a healthy list. Not only that, Matt, I think the whole idea of this list where you're going to decrease things, and this is the next insult, I think, for the Dominican people. You're going to put a list forward and you say it's for 6 months. And anytime the government does this, it's a plow. It's an election plow. It's a let me get a vote plow. If you are truly concerned about people's health and their pocketbooks, 6 months does not fix it. You cannot give a man a loaf to eat. You have to teach him how to fish. You have to teach him how to be in business. Matt, they're going to decrease the prices of mackerel. So when you go to the supermarket, the mackerel is going to look more attractive than whatever else is on the shelf. So we're now going to buy a 12-month supply of mackerel in 6 months so that we can eat mackerel, tuna, sardines, corned beef for 6 months. Why would we do this? Why would we do this? Why would you give people something that is only good for 6 months? What are you saying? You're saying, here you go. I'm going to give this dog a bone and I'm going to tease them. I'm going to just put it in this little carrot in front of them and dangle in front of them. Now, if you're truly concerned about Dominica's welfare, if you're truly concerned about the poor man, then help the poor man. Teach him how to fish. Do not give him a plate of food for one day. And if you give us this stuff for 6 months, Matt, what is this? What are we? Are we only going to be able to eat mackerel for 6 months? And then what are we going to go back to eating after this, Matt? Matt, what are we going to eat? Let's say we do eat mackerel and we do eat corned beef. What happens the 6 months after that? Is something magically going to happen in the economy that you and I don't know about in 6 months that is going to now make us afford the new price on mackerel? So mackerel is going to be $5 for 6 months. And then the next 6 months after that, it's going to go up to $10. And what are we going to do, Matt? What are we going to do then, Matt? What's the plan?
Let's take a phone call there. Many phone calls coming in there. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Brother Andy, Brother Matt,
Yes.
here it is that the Minister of Agriculture has given free of charge to more than 100 fishermen brand new fishing boats, brand new outboard motors, free of charge. And you come and you boast in Parliament that the fishermen are making $45,000 a day. So why are you allowing the fishermen to still charge the consumers, the public, $12 a pound for tuna? Wouldn't you rather not allow me to buy the tuna at $5 a pound, fresh tuna, instead of allowing me to go and buy canned tuna? And
I agree with you, sir. I definitely agree with you.
The medication for diabetes and high blood pressure is going
It's
to
more expensive.
1,000%. I would
That's true.
have thought that you would have been happy with that. Tell me,
Well,
my
well,
brother.
well, to tell you the truth, I'm never happy when things skyrocket for my people because I am going to tell you, even over here in the United States right now, there is a cry out because medications are getting too expensive. And while these medications can cure diseases, they are expensive. As you know, Matt, our EC dollars compared to the American dollar is not a very good conversion. But here's what I have to tell you before the last caller who called. Right now, if you go in America, food doesn't have tax on it. And right now, Matt, if we go in the store, we actually have to pay VAT on our food. I would have preferred if the government gave us a VAT holiday and actually remove VAT. And Matt, you know what the government should have done?
Mm-hmm.
If they wanted to save face, let's remove the VAT because we now have VAT and income tax, which is double taxation on the public. And maybe you said I don't want to remove VAT,
So you say
but
we
at
need a
least
tax holiday.
but Matt, that's all I would have done. I wouldn't have go put corned beef on a list. No, Matt, don't get me wrong. The people who eat corned beef, go eat corned beef, but make corned beef cheaper for them. Take out the VAT. But the people who want to eat fish, the people who want to eat lettuce, the people who want to eat whatever is healthy for them, those people don't get a discount. Like me, when I come to Dominica, I'm paying the same price for my food. But the guy who's poor is paying cheaper for his corned beef and he's paying cheaper for his sardines. And because I don't eat corned beef. Now, sardines I know are good for you. I eat sardines all the time. But why are some people getting a break and some people not getting a break? So, what are we saying here, Matt? That the ministry is actually digging their pocket and going for the poorest of the poor. They don't. This is like a budget for NEP people. And I know I have no disregard for NEP people. I love NEP people. But what I'm saying is that only the people who eat those foods should get a discount. What happens if you don't eat those foods? What happens if you know better, like you and me, and when we go to the restaurant, we eat something different or something healthier? Why don't we deserve a break? So are you saying that our government is now discriminating against the healthy people of the nation? So they want the healthy people to start eating sardines, corned beef, and whatever else that they put on this list so that we can come from healthy to unhealthy. And if they really wanted to do something else, you know what? Here's another simple thing, Matt, the government could have done. They could have called me and asked me about this. Why don't we make gas cheaper for the fishermen? So now the fishermen can get cheaper gas. Instead of all them taxes we putting on the gas, why don't we make cheaper gas for the fishermen? Give the fishermen gas cheaper so they can catch more fish, so we can eat more fish, and we can be a healthier country. Matt, don't you think that's a simple solution?
A great idea too. 449-309-596. Now, somebody suggesting there, give a man a fish and you feed him for life. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. Scary to love to hear his name on funeral announcements. What a shameful budget from the so-called politicians. The government is only now leading the population to their grave. That's what somebody said there on Facebook. Huh?
Well,
It's like
Matt,
you're leading people to their grave.
Matt, I think to tell you the honest truth, I have told you this before on this show and I will repeat it. And there might be some people that disagree with me. This administration, this government has lost their way. They're out of ideas. They are not willing to listen to anything that is progressive or current. They are using ideas from 1965. If I had to discount corned beef, and discount mackerel and discount sardines and tuna. That is something that I would have done after the hurricane in 1974 and 1979 and 1970 something. This is not something you bring forward in 2025. So this is not a 2025 budget, Matt. This is a 1979 budget,
So
and
you
it's
think
an
that's
insult.
progressive. But anyway, let's take another phone call. Are you there? Yes? Uh-huh.
Yes, I'm there.
Good afternoon to you.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Good
Hello.
afternoon.
Go ahead, go
I'm your
ahead.
old neighbor in Solomon Lane.
Yes, go ahead.
What I'm listening to the budget and all the thing. I know if a hurricane pass, we have no choice of anything, so we have to eat what we get to survive. But if you are a doctor and you are, or as I already said, he's a good doctor. But I sometimes, when you see you don't listen to people, sometimes you get yourself messed up and your own advisors can destroy you. So I am saying you cannot ask people to go and eat thin that and thin and thin that. It doesn't mean you cannot take a thin something. You can create things, make take banana, fig, anything and grate it and make it akra. There are things you can do, for yourself. Take vegetables and grate it and put it inside the egg and do something. But telling people to go and you're a doctor. What I am asking now is all the pharmacies and the people that are in the pharmacy, they should come out and voice out themselves and tell them, I hear disadvantage is coming. Priscilla,
All these people should come on the air and voice all this and make government know. You cannot be telling people go and eat sardine and go see. They need to help the fishermen. They need to help our own product we grow in and we there. You can take a little bit of chicken we grow and they do your little acrylic or whatever it is. But I think all the pharmacies, all the people that deal in medicine should voice for themselves. And Mr. You're my friend, but I'm telling you that they still with you are in a way with medical thing because the medicine are very high, and we have to go and buy all the time. And sometimes we might have to take half or quarter and go with it. So I think in the pharmacies, the medicine should have a low price for the poor people too, as well as the government is just doing. Thank you.
All right, thank you. But you know, somebody's asking Matt, who tell you corned beef and mackerel, etc. cheap? They're very expensive in the supermarkets. So just imagine after the 6 months, get a little more expensive. I mean, if you go for a tin of canned beef right now, it's not cheap.
Well,
It will
Matt,
be.
Matt, we were not discussing the price for that person. I think I'm going to clear that up for them. We're not discussing the price of corned beef, and sardines because corned beef and sardines are expensive. I go and tell you that right now. Corned beef sardines used to be the cheap food of the nation. Corned beef cheap, and Matt, another food that get expensive, back and neck. You ever go try buy back and neck?
Oh yes,
Remember when they used to give a
like
back and
gold.
neck free?
It's like gold
Yeah,
now.
back. You can't afford back and neck, Matt. I'm telling you that. Because here's the thing, Matt, we're not talking about the price of the food. We're talking about the health benefits of this food. And it's been known for a very long time that these foods are not the healthiest foods for you. Now, can you eat them every now and then and don't have a problem? Yes. I'm perfectly fine with this, but this is not what you promote to your population after you're saying, hey, I want to help you. We do not have a trauma level 1 hospital in Dominica. In fact, I don't, Matt, what's the level of the hospital in Dominica right now? What's the level? Because
What level?
we
I don't
don't, we don't
know, but
have, I don't think we have a level in them because usually trauma 1 level places, you can go in and you can get really great medical care. I mean, they can bring the dead people back to life. But we don't have that in Dominica. We have a very poor healthcare system in Dominica. And what we should do is understand that. And we should really move it for our people. But Matt, something that was very disgusting to me on this budget, and I don't know if you recognize that. They decided that they were going to reduce, and I think it's probably for a little while longer. They're gonna reduce the duty or remove the duty on toilet paper.
uh-huh.
Matt,
So
we used to have a toilet paper factory in Dominica, and they
yes, yes.
refused to help the guy build
You're
back
right.
the toilet paper factory.
You're right. You're
So,
right.
but now we're reducing duty on toilet paper because toilet paper getting too expensive. What happened to us? What happened? We had a toilet paper factory in Dominica that we refused to put back together after the hurricane. But now we order in all the toilet paper from Trinidad and the other surrounding islands, which actually have factories. And I'm thinking to myself, what the heck is going on here?
No
Who
support
is
for the Mr. McKenzie at the time who put together this toilet paper factory. There was no support
Ma,
for him.
we had a toilet paper factory, but now we giving because toilet paper too expensive. We can't afford toilet paper, and God knows we can't run out of toilet paper. What
As a
happened?
matter of fact, I will say Venezuela at the time was, demanding that they got toilet paper, and that was an excellent opportunity for us to promote and push the toilet paper, but we never took that opportunity.
We did. We missed opportunities, and that is why we are where we are. And then I noticed that they decreased duties on some other things. But Matt, the truth is that, Matt, I'm going to tell you, this administration is very, very smart in what they do. People have to understand that the administration will remove it somewhere. But I guarantee you, they're going to get us back somewhere else. This administration does not have our best interest in Dominica at hand. And I'm going to tell you, it clearly shows from that. Man, and I don't want to stick to the corned beef because we all know the corned beef is a bad idea. If you go to your doctor today and you tell them all I'm eating is canned foods, guess what they're going to tell you? That is a bad idea for your health. If you go on the internet and you look that up, they'll tell you that's a bad idea for your health. So we're not going to stick to that. But Matt, what else was really in this budget? I mean, Was it just corned beef alone that was in this budget? What else was in the budget that was valuable to the Dominican people, Matt? And I went for the budget, and don't get me wrong, Matt, I am not the greatest budget person in the world, but I really didn't see that there was anything else that was going to really benefit the Dominican people. Now, I saw that they tried to make amends to help civil servants get cheaper loans. Did you notice that, Matt? They were going to make cheaper loans available for civil servants.
For
But
housing, yes, for sure.
for housing. But Matt, what's going on here? We're going to make cheaper loans for civil servants, and then what about the rest of us? What's going to go on? So now everybody going to want to go work for the government just to get a cheaper loan, and then what? And then what? So basically, what they're saying essentially here is that if you come work for the government, and if you with the government, you're gonna get plenty handouts. We're gonna throw you little carrot if you come work for us. If you come, so Matt, guess what's gonna happen to all the good labor and all the labor that we have in Dominica? It's gonna move towards the government side. So the government's gonna have everybody working for them because they can get cheaper loan. Matt, what does the private sector have to offer those people? What do we have to offer our employees? What do I have to offer the hundreds of employees that work for all the different grocery stores in Dominica, all the different organizations, the business places? And then, Matt, we wonder why businesses are closing in Dominica. It's because the government offering all their people everything and all our people nothing. And people don't see that. And they don't understand that. They don't understand that, Matt, it's not the government that runs the country, or pays for the bill. It's the private sector funds the government, and then the government can operate. We have everything ass backwards. Instead of saying, look, I'm going to make it easy for people under a certain income to get a loan. I'm going to make it easy for people who've lived in Dominica and maybe you get married in Dominica or you have a child. I'm going to make it easier for these people to get loans. Instead, Matt, you say, if you work for the government, we will make sure you have a good place to live and we will give you a cheap loan. So now everybody going to run to the government. Now where are we going to be? Where are we going to be, Matt? What we have to do? Close our doors? I don't understand
The
this.
rest of us, nothing for the rest of us. That's the point. Nothing for the rest of us.
Yeah. So, Matt, pretty soon you're going to be working on a government radio station because guess what? That's the only way you're going to be able to get a 2% loan in Dominica. So I see all these things happening, Matt, and it just shows me how much the government discriminates across the working class of Dominicans. It shows me how the government looks out just for themselves. The government of Dominica is not a government for the people.
So to your
It's
point
a
earlier, Andy, and I will call on the line. The person was saying CBI. We spoke about the toilet paper earlier. CBI could have saved this toilet paper industry. We had a lot of
easily.
money CBI there a couple of years ago, and we could have saved this toilet paper factory that we had just a few years ago. And Mr. McKenzie, of course, was begging for people to invest in the company at the time. But let's take a phone call. We'll come back to that. Hello, yes.
Good afternoon, Matt,
Good afternoon to you, sir.
and to Mr. Jolly.
Good afternoon.
Welcome every time. I think you should be on Matt's program every day.
I try to get on as much as I can.
Matt, and Mr. Jolly. The most disgusting thing about that budget was every parliamentarian was clapping. It means that they approved it. Every parliamentarian was clapping, actually non-stop. So, constituency, the constituency should be kicked out because really there's nothing in that budget for them. All that thing to be more diabetic, to become more diabetic and to high blood pressure and to pay more bills, to go and buy medication and that. And there was nothing in there for the poor people. So what they're saying, and again now they're saying, they're going to give cheaper loans for civil servants.
Private sector, yeah, civil servants, yeah.
2%, yes.
Yes, 2%. What about the other people? The other people are not existing. The other people not existing, and they are the only one that is working. The other people are not working. It should be the other way wrong, or not other way wrong, but the other people, everybody should be inclusive. So that budget is just a waste of time. Thank you.
All right, thank you to 449-3095-96 and 97. We're here with Mr. Andy Jolly, looking at the 25, 26, 2026 budget. Andy, back to you. Yes?
Well,
Yep.
Matt, there were several things put in there that I don't understand. Also, I believe they tried to change up the duty on the automobiles a little bit and tried to make it. I don't know if they tried to make it cheaper,
More
Matt.
expensive for the local man. More expensive for the local man. So you won't be able to order a vehicle, less than 10 years old. It's more than 10 years old because you're going to pay
Yes.
$10,000 more.
That's correct. Yes. Matt, as you know, I collect classic cars. My oldest car is 1962, which is a Kennedy car, Lincoln Continental, suicide doors. It's a very old car. I love it. It's like a boat. I have one that's a 1967. I will never bring those cars to Dominica. It's not profitable. It cannot exist. So I will have to keep my car collection in America. But I was not concerned about my car collection because there was no plan to bring it to Dominica. But Matt, what have we done? We said we wanted to help the poor man, so we gave him duty free on sardines. But we're gonna prevent him from buying, or prevent him from being able to afford a vehicle, which is probably something that was good. Here's the thing: I don't believe in. We have a lot of older vehicles on the road right now, Matt.
Why don't
But what did we do?
To get to a point, why don't we make the newer vehicles less expensive? If you understand.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was trying to bring to the table. I was trying to say, okay, you don't want the poor man to drive an old vehicle. Well, let's make it significantly possible for him to drive a new vehicle. Let's make it possible for the poor guy to be able, because here's what you did. Again, you discriminated against people. And in the age when a vehicle is $100,000, and I think Mr. Scarrett knows what a vehicle costs because he just used, not too long ago, he used the people's money to buy one for his kids to drive around. So I think he spent, Matt, how much was it? 180 something $1,000 to buy the vehicle for his kids?
Around that 175, 176, yes.
Yeah, because the one that he had before that, which I believe was a 2016 vehicle, was not good enough. So he wanted something more current. But again,
they were criticizing him for, of course, using government's money. So he said he's going to buy a vehicle for his children. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but Matt, we don't know whether that transaction ever went through. Nobody looked into that. Nobody saw the money go back the other way. At some point, he said he was going to return it or he was going to pay for it, but for himself. I don't think that ever happened. And if somebody can show me the paperwork for that, I'd be willing to bet on that to make sure that happens. Because here's the thing, Matt. How is the how is
there?
Well, I don't think there's any transparency, Matt. Nobody has actually showed us that this vehicle has not been paid for by the citizens of Dominica, first of all. And not only that, with the salaries that Mr. Scarrett and Mrs. Scarrett is taking home, those two people, I mean, just come across like the most selfish people in Dominica. Because here's the thing: if I was taking home a salary like they're taking home the salary with the additional benefits and travel like they're taking home, I would not be leaning on the backs of the Dominican people. I would be buying my own stuff. And that would be a proud moment for me to say, hey, I'm working, I'm paying my own way. But no, instead, they're having the Dominican population pay their own way. But Matt, the poor person who cannot buy an older vehicle anymore has to buy a newer vehicle. So what's going to happen? More people are going to have to use the bus system. The guy who could probably buy an older vehicle, which again, as I said, it's fine that we're not ordering older vehicles, but let's make them more affordable for everybody because everybody needs a means of transportation. We have had an administration in power for 20 something years, Matt, and we do not have a bus terminal. We do not have any mass transit. We do not have any transit system. We don't have a bus anything, and we don't have a car park. So my question to you, Matt, is where do we stand? Where do we stand? All this money that we are now importing or we are now using to import cars into Dominica, and we don't have this. And in order to add a little injury to insult, we have bad roads. We have bad roads. We have people with accidents every day. And
But
where do we
I'm hearing that
stand?
the road levy may be back.
Well, Matt, the road levy. Did you see the? Let's talk about something that was on the garbage. The garbage. What that was on the budget too. Did you see that?
Of course, we have to pay another levy for collection of garbage.
Matt, let me explain something to you. And I had to scratch my head when I see this one. How does garbage collection end up on your budget? Oh, how does that happen? Garbage collection was being discussed on the budget. Why was that included in there? Are we admitting that we don't have good garbage collection in Dominica? Finally? After what? What has it been, Matt? 2 years of us suffering with garbage all over the country? Are we
Because
finally
the
addressing the
idea is
problem?
some garbage trucks to come. Maybe was it next month or is it next month or the October? I think approximately 10 garbage trucks. Maybe by the end of the year, new garbage
Matt,
trucks.
Matt, don't you think that's a little too late? I
Well,
mean, look at us. Come on. I mean, after all, Matt, I mean,
matter of fact, before I came into the studios, a few guys from Grand Bay, one of the main Jande Patat, if you if you want to use this word, tell me, Matt, the garbage in Lale is too much. We can't take it anymore. So still a garbage problem in Dominica. Still a
yeah,
garbage.
but we have the garbage problem, and you know what? I am glad that the Minister of Finance finally decided to step in because guess what? Instead of buying a car for Skerrit and his children to drive around in, he should have buy a goddamn garbage truck to pick up the garbage in Roseau. So he finally came to his common sense. And you know why I think that happened, Matt? To tell you the honest truth, because it started affecting the ministers and the ministers themselves and their families. That is the reason why that ended up on the budget. And they finally said, boy, plenty people complain about the garbage. Let's include that in the budget. But Matt, garbage is not a budget item. Let's talk about serious things in the budget. What else was in the budget? What else was in there? Was there any support for the businesses in Dominica, the private sector? Was there any relief for the private sector in Dominica? Was there anything, Matt, you saw in that budget brought forward that would help businesses not close down in the next year? Was there anything? No, I am going to tell you, I saw the fact that they are trying to open up the water factory back again. Did you see that, Matt?
Yes,
They're
it's going to
gonna take over. The place
some
where Kubuli was.
some investor is going to take over this thing, and I don't know the name of the investor. If somebody's wondering whether it's the Chinese or
Well,
some
I do.
foreign.
I do know the name of the investor.
Is it
That's gonna take it. It's a Dominican investor, I believe.
a Dominican investor? Well,
Yes.
if you have the information,
Uh,
you can share with us. But we're going to take a break. We'll come right back. Stick around. Stick
yes.
around. Stick around. Stick around.
All you, I just me goal winning the Rose again. Same place outside Flossie's. I try to dock in, but you know, me. Well, story start again. Million, long time after we got some. Saka fella, I say the same thing you doing, shopping at Flossie's, and you don't have to tell me the same thing you tell me last time because I'm busy. It's to hear him way. You reckon? About my pocket boy. I won't tell you that I save money in food and drinks when I buy quantity. I save more. Oh shucks, man. Well, when you're still telling me, I know already. Tu paga respect him, eh? But it can him up here to Palais. I will tell all my friends from London, US and Dominica to come to Floss's, right next to the Rosa Market. Open Sunday to Saturday. Floss's can't do it to you.
Big news, Dominica! DeWitt Center is now even closer to you with the opening of DeWitt Center Express, conveniently located on Cork Street, right next to Fresh Market. Get all your home improvement essentials fast with everything from tools and paints to home decor and more. Plus, enjoy the same great service you know and trust. Now, just a quick stop in the city. Visit us today at Do It Center Express, your partner in home improvement. Now, closer than ever.
Mesdames et messieurs, Maracas 81, la grande dame de la chanson antillaise, Ophélia!
Dominica, get ready for another powerful edition of Creole Heritage Radio program as we feature Dominica's Creole Queen, Mama Creole, la Gadam de la chanson antillaise, Ophélia Olivache Marie. This Friday, August 1st from 10:50 a.m. Live on the Big Session Q95 FM. Ophélia Olivache Marie, recipient of Dominica's second highest award, the Cicero Medal of Honor, Sam's Lifetime Achievement Award, Carrie Festus Caribbean Icon Award, the famous Maracas Tour, and other prestigious awards. Ophélia, hosted by Creole Cultural Ambassador Leroy Prince Maddox Chance. Ophélia, as we celebrate 25 years of the World Creole Music Festival. Ophélia Marie joins us to share her journey, her music, her rhythm, and what made her one of the most famous Creole female artists globally. Don't miss this special conversation this Friday 10:50 a.m. on Q95 FM, Q95 FM Facebook page, YouTube channel, as part of our 15-week series, WCMN at 25. From idea to World Class Festival, a journey for rhythm and cultural legacy. This Friday, tune in and be inspired and feel the heartbeat of Creole music.
Following shopping for farming supplies. So I ask you, what are you doing inside Bloombox? You have a farm? You tell me, that's how it has sort. I've been married 37 years. Look at my money farm. They say, no, not woman, like land for farming crops. And then you understand, Bloombox is the most affordable on island. Knapsacks starting at only $57.71. Elsewhere, it's $300 plus. Cutlass seeds, seeding trays, nursery pots. There's a potting mix all at way better prices than anywhere else. Fertilizers, 3-in-1 multi-tool, and so much more. Located on Federation Drive, Goodwill. Second property on the right after the Valley Link Road and on the corner of Drury Lane and Hanover Street in Rosal. Bloombox. Let's bloom together.
Dominica, Q95 Radio is opened for your business in collaboration with the National Development Foundation of Dominica. Get ready to join Q95 Radio and NDFD for Nature Island Small Business Buzz, a live radio program bringing in empowerment to small business ideas and entrepreneurs across Dominica every Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 5 p.m., offering a unique national platform for small, medium, and growing business enterprises in Dominica. Together, we'll aspire to connect, advertise, learn, collaborate, and witness small business entrepreneurs thrive and succeed in the fertile broadcasting soil of Q95 along with the NDFD. Join us on our journey every Tuesdays and Thursdays from 4 to 5 p.m. One unbroken, exciting hour of free Q95 Radio small business promotion as together we explore all the challenges, the setbacks, the setups, the comebacks, stories, the history, the startups, the breakthroughs, the financing, the sweat, the toil, the sleepless nights, the heartbreaks, the triumphs, the business plan, the overall success in pursuing your small business dream come true in the Commonwealth of Dominica. Join veteran broadcaster Franklin Peter Moses and Mr. Donald Bocasio, highly skilled, qualified, sought-after business and entrepreneurial manager, small business development expert, and strategic business coach. Together, we're taking you and your small business to the pinnacle of success in the Dominican economic landscape. So don't miss Nature Island Small Business Buzz every Tuesdays and Thursdays right here on Q95 Radio, the big station.
When you look at the allegation of
All right, Andy, I'm just going to play you two clips there to get your opinion, if you will, or your 2 cents on some of the people that have been commenting, assessing the budget for 2025-2026. Here's Mr. Glenroy Coffey. I don't know if you heard this. A piece of his presentation earlier this week. Listen.
When you look at the allocation of the budget, Mike, with respect to what is happening, you know that the budget estimates comprises of the recurrent expenditure and the capital expenditure. In all, we have a $1.3 billion budget. Fair enough. You know what is frightening about that budget? And I'm going to just weigh the Prime Minister's office allocation versus the agriculture allocation. Now, the Prime Minister's office on the capital expenditure will have an allocation of $357 million. And under the recurrent expenditure to take care of current expenditures, that's $10 million, a total of $367 million. Now, that in itself represents 28% of the total budget. Compare now agriculture, now, that receives $8.9 million on the recurrent expenditure and $23.4 million on the capital expenditure. A total of $32 million, representing a mere 2.4% of the total budget. A disparity with respect to percentage, 26% disparity, and if you have to equate that to dollars, $345 million disparity. Matt, what is so important about a Prime Minister's office that so much or a high percentage of that allocation of the budget has to be targeted to the Prime Minister? When you look at the allocation of the budget, Matt, with respect to
All right,
happened,
that was we played that before. Let's go back to this. So he's comparing the allocation of the Prime Minister and comparing it to what was given to agriculture. But Mr. Clarence Christian was quick to jump in to defend. Listen to Mr. Clarence Christian.
Surprise in so-so. The Prime Minister's office is the office that takes care of the international airport. That is the largest investment taking place in our country ever. The Prime Minister's office is in charge of the marina in Portsmouth. The Prime Minister office is responsible for a number of other investment projects in the country, and you can see them all around the country, those investment projects. Investment is under the Prime Minister's office. Investment is part of the formula for economic growth, C plus I plus G. The I is investment, right? So the investment gets the largest share of the budget. Period. Simple. For Rosso not to understand that, it's very, very, very pathetic.
So we're looking at the spending taking place in the Prime Minister's office versus what is being given to agriculture. Your thoughts, Mr. Anderson? Are you there? I don't know what's going on. We may have lost you for a minute there. Oh, so you're having a signal problem. Okay. We're going to try to see if we can correct that.
There you go. Now I can hear you. We're good now.
All right, let's see. Are you back?
I'm back, Matt. I'm here with you. Sorry, I got bumped out of the room for a little while.
Okay.
But Matt, there's a lot of money being spent, and there's no doubt that money is being spent. I think the question here is, and this is the question that we've asked on this show before: are we getting the benefit? What is the return on an investment of all that money being spent? And the gentleman who said yes, the Prime Minister's office should get the largest budget. The question is the Prime Minister's office doing what it's supposed to? Are we really getting value for our money from that office? And I would beg to differ. And if you ask the Dominican population, we've been putting a lot of money in the Prime Minister's office What have we gotten for it? And I would beg to say that we've gotten our money's worth out of that office. So I would actually like to try a different office. And I think this has been the problem with the uneducated people and the financially irresponsible people that we have in government right now. I'm going to tell you, if something has not been working, let's try something new. Let's try to bring something new to the platform. Let's give agriculture some money so that maybe we can plant something that can bring us to the promised land. Let's give a different department money. But Matt, we live with this outdated idea that the prime minister office should get the money because the prime minister office is responsible for investment in Dominica. Okay, how much investment have we gotten? That the prime minister's office is going to be the way to the promised land, but we're not going to the promised land. We're actually going away from the promised land. The prime minister's office is going to help us to go to the way for the future. It's going to make us all better. Yeah, it's only making the prime minister better because he's living in a $64,000 mansion in Mont Daniel. He's flying all over the globe. He and his wife are bringing in, upwards of $20,000, $30,000 a month into their own pockets, and they're living like kings and queens, while the rest of us are living like peasants. So maybe we take the money from the prime minister's office and give it to somebody else. What is so wrong about that idea, Matt? What is so bad about this idea? Trying something new.
Mr. Andy Jolly, you will spend a lot more money and put more money in agriculture. That's one of the sectors we need to invest in a lot more. Yes?
But Matt, I am saying we need agriculture is probably one I would invest in. First of all, I think Dominica could be the breadbasket of the Caribbean. We have all the attributes that it's going to take. But here's the problem that I have, Matt, and this is a very simple problem. The Prime Minister's office has not been getting the job done. It's been too long. We've been putting in too much money. And every time, all we know about this Prime Minister Roosevelt scared that we have, and not that I'm against Roosevelt. I am saying this gentleman is not a businessman. He does not even know how to balance his own checkbook, for God's sake. He has never been in business, and his ideas are antiquated and outdated. His ideas would lead us down to poverty. We just got a budget that said we should eat canned shellfish. Man, I'm convinced. I'm convinced. Anybody who tells me I should go back to eating saltfish, mackerel, corned beef, and this is what they're advising me to do, I am going to tell you I am probably slightly smarter than you. I'm not going to eat those. I'm going to tell you. My sister, Dr. Jolly, everybody knows her, is a diabetic doctor.
Yes, that's true.
I'm going to tell him, Matt, bring on your show tomorrow and ask her what they think about canned corned beef. In fact, Matt, I'm going to tell you something else. And this is what the Dominican people don't know. So I'm going to tell you this is an important thing that you have never brought up on your program. Canned foods are responsible for 90% of the allergic rashes that people have today. 90%. And that is just a fact. So all those people who come in by Jollies and they say, I have a rash, I have allergy. Look at my skin. Matt, you know what's causing a lot of those things? Canned foods. We eat too much canned foods in Dominica right now. If we went back to a healthy, well-balanced diet, if we went back to something that is more closer to nature, Matt, I am going to tell you our people would be significantly healthy. We would have less obesity. We would have less diabetic. Granted, true, that might put my sister out of business. But we would have people who have better eyesight. We would have people who are physically stronger. And not only that, Matt, you know one of the things that I'm hoping that we would have as well? We would have men with more testosterone in Dominica. Our Prime Minister office does not need the money anymore. And if the Prime Minister of Dominica, I'm going to tell you this, Matt, because this is coming from my own heart. if the prime minister was truly a smart man, he would not feel like he needs all the money for himself. He would actually distribute the money to his trusted cabinet officials to go out and do good for the people. Instead, you know what he thinks? I am the smartest man inside there. I should get all the money for myself. You know what I do with money, Matt? I give it away. I give it away to people who can use it. Because if these people can use the money effectively, Matt, if people could use the money, you have 21 officials in the government, Matt, and our prime minister gets 70% of the money to spend for himself. How fair do you think that is, Matt?
Not fair
How
at all.
fair?
Not fair at all. But let's see if we can take more call. At this time, everybody wants to talk to Mr. Jolly at this time. Hello, talk to me. Yes? Mm-hmm.
Hey, Matt, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Jordan.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I asked a question on Monday, Matt, and I'm yet to get a response. I don't know if you have a number for Clarence Christian, maybe he could respond. Mr. Jolly, you said that it's if it is that we get in value for money when we put all those monies into the Prime Minister's office. But my question is not even that. My question is, why is it that we have to put money in the Prime Minister's office for those projects, especially the international airport, when we were told by the Prime Minister that the developer is taking all the risk, he has to go out and sell all the citizenships, do all his marketing, and get the citizenship sold so that he could raise the money and build the airport. So if that is the case, why are we putting money or why are we budgeting money to the Prime Minister's office for that purpose? We already told that we're not taking any risk. All the risk is with the developer. So why is it that we're budgeting money for the Prime Minister's office for that purpose? I don't know.
Well, I can answer that question for you. I mean, you don't need to call Clarence Christian for that. Why do you need to call Clarence Christian? I can answer that question right now for you, and then you'll be satisfied. If I answer it, will you be satisfied?
Okay, let me hang up. Thank you, man.
All right, thank you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give him the answer right now. Our prime minister lies to us on a regular basis. Mr. Roosevelt's carrot. If you want to know when he's lying, it's when he opens his mouth. That's just the end of the story. The amount of disconnect that man has had with so many things, we could write a book right now. But Mr. Skerritt said one thing on Saturday, and on Monday morning it's something totally different. He does the exact opposite. Our prime minister will tell you things to gain points, to score points with you. His ideas are not very well researched. His ideas do not have any backing. And for Matt, the people that don't understand when an idea has backing, here's what I'm going to tell you. Before I walk into a project, and I do several projects, as you know, I run about 17 companies on a daily basis. I make sure that I have about 350 employees worldwide. Well, actually, that's in the US alone. Worldwide, I have a little bit more. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Mr. Skerritt comes up on stage and he tells people things they want to hear. Those things have no legs, meaning that they cannot come to fruition. They cannot be advanced in society. It was just something I said at the moment to get things done for you. Even we've had several projects, Matt. Matt, last time I was on here, you asked me, why did the roof of the grammar school fall? Why did the roof of the grammar school fall? Because we probably didn't pass the project for planning and do the necessary things that we have to do. These things are just being done for show and for fashion. Our prime minister is using us to the extent that we can understand. You know what? If you ask Mr. Skerritt right now what he thinks of Dominica, he'll tell you it's perfect. It's the greatest place ever. The citizens of Dominica are totally content. In fact, I just gave them a brand new budget and helped them for 6 months to eat canned sardines and corned beef, and they are doing well. We had Mr. Skerritt the other day, went around meeting. I just saw him out in Grenada, I believe, meeting with a bunch of heads of CARICOM recently. Guess what? If you ask the people down there what Mr. Scarrett says about us, they'll tell you he's nice. He's dressed up in a $400, and I'm not talking about 400 EC dollars, $400 suit, and he's out there shaking hands with all the big leagues, smiling away. The people at his home are suffering. The people in Dominica are suffering. Businesses are closing down. People don't have money to pay their bills. People have their homes going into default. When does he talk about this? He never talks about it. Our passport is slowly becoming devalued. Our people are putting visa restrictions on us. We're going down slowly. You think Mr. Scarrett's talking about that when he gets out there? I don't think he's talking about it. He does not care. Our prime minister lies to us, sir. So do not ask that question anymore. And the other people around him tend to believe him every now and then. There's no reason for the prime minister to get all that money. In fact, the truth is that Matt, in any business, and that includes in my business, Matt, I'm going to tell you how a true businessman operates. For those people in Dominica who are not aware, the person who runs the business should be handling less of the business. If you are running a business and you're doing everything yourself, that is a horrible business. Carl Nassif will never be seen at Fresh Market on the register. Carl Nassif is the thinker for Fresh Market. He's the direction leader. He's the person making the calls. He's the person deciding whether we should open a business over in that island, whether we move over on that island. All the business people of Dominica are not sitting in their office handling money and handling business. They are supposed to be strategic leaders. For me, myself, I can tell you, Matt, I'm on your radio show, but that doesn't mean I'm not working. I am the strategic leader for my businesses. I am telling them where to go, what to do, making sure everybody's following policy, procedure, making sure that they're making the right decision. Do you see me deciding where the money goes? No, I've handed the projects to the people, and their job is to come back to me and tell me how the project's doing. Their job is to show me that the project is being completed on time. So Mr. Scary is a poor leader. He would be poor in business, and he's poor right now leading Dominica, because guess what? He's the one down there doing everything himself. I'm going to tell you that is the worst type of businessman.
Stick around. There's more to come. We'll do this and come back.
David, you sure this car will get us home?
Tonya, I know my God. Trust me. That can take us to town and back on an eater. Wow, not now.
David, I told you to put in Rubis Ultratech fuel last week. That gas is longer lasting for sure. It improves fuel economy, saves you money, and maintains vehicle performance. What sort of car man you supposed to be?
What does Ultratech Fuel's greater fuel economy mean to you? You get more miles for less. Put only the best in your tank. Ultratech, only from Rubis.
Carifesta is connections, community, and unity. It is understanding each other without saying a word. Separated by water, united in purpose. One voice, one story, one song. Carifesta is leaping. Come for Carifesta 15 in Barbados. Book your stay now at visitbarbados.org/Carifesta.
Dominica, get ready for a weekend of gap, creativity, and culture. The Gems Artisan Market is coming to Fortune Hotel from August 1st to the 3rd, and you're invited to experience the best of local art, craft, music, and community, all in one beautiful space. Handcrafted products, painting, locally crafted goods, spoken word, acoustic music, poetry, and more. Come support 32 of Dominica's most talented artisans and enjoy performances from amazing artists. Entry is free, so bring your family, friends, and celebrate Dominica's. Follow Gems Foundation on Facebook for more updates and don't miss it. The market is open on Friday from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., Saturday from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., and Sunday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
for you, Bell Bagay. The biggest mini one-day only Me Bell Bagay market sale is happening in Shimenef in Port Michelle on Saturday, August 2nd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. All tradesmen, housewives, carpenters, vendors, chefs, boutique owners, carpenters, homeowners, gift buyers, gift senders, gift givers. Bring your family, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your business partner. Everybody is taking home only Bell Bagay from Shimenef in Port Michelle, August 2nd. By bus, by car, taxi, by foot, bicycle, mobilette, and tricycle. Come early to avoid the rush. Everything must go. Coffee makers, hot cups, petty tray, portable drills, handle tools, multiple speed, protein vegetable blender, juices, oyster mini choppers, hyper tough rechargeable handy power stores, hair dryers, ladies spin brush, hair sets, ladies all occasion fashionable shoes, and so many other Me Bell Bagay products to choose from. For one day only, Saturday, August 2nd from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Shimenef, Point Michelle, Saturday coming.
Boy, Andy, I can't believe it's already 17 to the hour of 3 o'clock. Time moving very quickly. But I want
No
you to
move.
speak to some comments made by the opposition senator, Senator Delbert Paris, commenting on the budget this morning. He says he was very disappointed, or he is very disappointed thus far. We're going to play you a 1 minute and 1 second of his presentation. There's a lot more, but we'll do that in synopsis. Delbert.
Underperformance across many of the public sector investment programs. 8 out of 12 critical industries had massive underperformance, spending less than 50% of their allocations, namely of the Ministry of Tourism, 46.97%, agriculture, 34%, youth, sports, and community development, 23%, foreign affairs, 38%. An indication, Mr. Speaker, of weak delivery mechanisms, low absorptive capacity. Mr. Speaker, the ministries, however, had over expenditure, extreme over expenditure, and that's the Ministry of Education, Rural Modernization, Ministry of Education had an expenditure of 182.9%, Rural Modernization can have upliftment with an expenditure of 115% of its approved allocation.
Basically indicating that there was underperformance based on their projections. Do you follow?
I definitely follow, Matt. And Matt, there was a couple sectors that he said were went over their budget. Isn't
Right.
that correct? The housing, what was it? The housing, and which one? There was one.
Rural development, education, and something else. Yes.
Yes, yes, and I mean that just goes to show poor leadership. There are things that should underperform, and it would have been nice to say what those things are and clarify exactly why they underperform. But the things that did underperform, Matt, were very significant to Dominica. I believe tourism was on there, and there were a couple other sectors on there. Um, we're spending a lot of money on tourism right now. We're building several large hotels, and we continue to go along that path where we believe those hotels. We're building an international airport, which technically would support tourism if you agree with me. So
But
I'm not.
that's not very optimistic that this airport will come anytime soon. Are you?
Well, yes. No, I'm not. I'm not optimistic at all. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy, but I don't see it coming. But Matt, here's what I want to
He
tell
did
you.
say, I think one of the government officials did say this week, I think it was the Minister of Finance said that we are 40% complete with the airport.
I wouldn't trust the Minister of Finance. I've seen what he done. I believe he's doing several things that are underhanded that will undermine Dominica in the future. I have not seen the Minister of Finance. We are talking about Mr. McIntyre, correct? I have not seen him doing anything that would actually help Dominica financially. And again, I will reiterate my main point. I do not believe he's competent for that ministry, and I don't think he ever was. Doctors usually don't make good financial people at all. They're more medically inclined. So I believe that we're wrong on that. But Matt, I think the takeaway point from Mr. Delbert Paris, if I want to agree with this, is saying that he was not the only person that was disappointed in the budget. I think there are many Dominicans. And Matt, I think I watched a clip and I was totally blown away by a young man that was dressed in blue. Probably you could tell me what his name was, that was speaking in the parliament that says it was clear that many Dominicans really loved the budget, and he was talking in parliament. I don't recall if you know his name, but he was going on and he was having praise and claps saying that people were agreeing with the budget, and it's clear to show that people loved what was in the budget. And I'm thinking to myself, and he said he looked on Facebook and saw, was it Facebook or online, and no, Dominica Breaking News, and he said that everybody loved the budget. And I'm thinking to myself, people didn't even want to comment on this. This was the part where your grandmother told you, don't throw stones at green mango, and you just left it alone, because what are you going to say? You have to know when to say something. And when somebody puts something in front of you that is so preposterous and so hideous, then you do nothing. I mean, I really want the government to sit down and think about the direction that they're going. So I agree with Delbert Paris, Matt, and I sympathize with him. This budget was a very disappointing budget. I was honestly thinking that the government would have a little more time to restructure. Mr. Skerritt said in one of his last meetings, Matt, I don't know, I think he brought that up, that he was going to do a restructuring of the government.
A
I would a
reshuffling of the budget.
reshuffling, and most of the things that were brought up in this government, Matt, were things that were recycle, reuse, reshape, redis. There was too much. I mean, really and truly, this budget
It's
had
like a cut and
nothing.
paste budget there. Cut and paste.
Yeah, it was cut and paste. There were things in there that they tried to do that is not working. And I am going to put my hat in the ring, Matt, and suggest to the government next time that they need help with a budget, I am available. I have qualified people that can make a decent budget. These are business individuals, these are people who are skilled that can look at numbers. Please call me. My number is just about everywhere in Dominica. Call me and let me help them create a budget that might be sustainable. This budget really has very little in it for the people of Dominica. Right now, Matt, the people of Dominica are overtaxed. There was no mention of tax relief for the people in Dominica. Right now, costs are going up around us, and there was no relief of cost cutting measures for the government. There was no relief of anything for the general public. Matt, and when I say general public, I am so tired of this government discriminating. But I understand why the government discriminates, because we have the head of the government, which is Mr. Roosevelt Skerritt, living in a $64,000 mansion, and then all the rest of us peasants are living in a $2,000 mansion. So I
Hello,
can see
doctor.
why there's
Some more
discrimination.
telephone calls are coming in there. The hard hitting and the. Are you the caller? 449-3095. I was going to take a call. Let's take this one. Are you there, caller? Yes.
Yes, Madam, right, thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Jolly, and good
Good
afternoon, man.
afternoon.
The grammar school went up by over how much millions of dollars. They went to Parliament last year to get some, and it went over, but nobody can tell us where that money went to. And the grammar school is far from being complete. Not even in September of this year, that grammar school going to be completed. Not, no. With serious problem in that country and a lot of insider trading going on in that country. My big uncle cousin in the head sitting down on that chair there, and I am the man getting all the road projects from the Trafalgar area. They're going all up to what that's talking about? From the cement truck. The concrete, all the tracks are Listen, if you had one credit and I get inside the trading, a lot of beer going on in the country, and Dominican just sitting down there just waiting to get the crumbs from the table. That is nonsense. In other countries, that's going to be out of office job a long time ago, and we just waiting to get a free apartment, and we are not being for free. Jesus, God help our people. Bye bye.
An angry Dominican for sure. Blue, Blue, hello. Talk to me on the telephone, yes? Yes.
I can hear in your talking about international airport.
Well, he said we are 40% complete, so there's something going on. You say you're not optimistic that the international airport will come. That's your point?
Not 1%.
Not 1%. You don't think so?
No.
So what's going on there? What's going on there in West Woodford Hill?
We're not a Chinese project, but not on the international airport. Not at all.
All right. Thank you very much. On the telephone, more telephone calls coming at this time, yes?
That is what I call exactly. Man, we are that 40% complete. That Sunday was at Wesley, man. But I see an airport on the left side of the road. I see another airport on the right side of the road in that area there, man. Where is the 40% complete? On the you think they say they have for the runway? See a set of water there and a kind of concrete thing going up there. But how that can be 40% complete?
What?
The Chinese are 100% complete living in their homes because they remember they have their homes there. They are 100% complete living in their homes. But that airport is nothing about 40% complete. But you must take a drive up there. Confuse the different spot for yourself, man. Bye bye.
Bye. All right, 449-309-596 and 97. More telephone calls. And they just hold on. I know people want to.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it's a pleasure.
Good afternoon, Andy and Matt.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
How are you sure that the public servant going to get the loan they spoke about? These people just talk and talk. Let's watch and see. Andy will still know. Let's watch and see if they're going to get anything, any loan, any free loan, whatever. And I did not understand this one. I had to go out. Let me compliment what's his name?
Who do you want to compliment?
You were playing his clip this morning, Matt.
Which one?
Oh, Delbert Paris?
Yeah.
Delbert Paris.
Okay.
For a good job. Well done. Thank you.
All right. So
Matt, one of the questions is how are they going to do this loan thing? Because the government can do two things with loans. How are they going to subsidize this 2% loan? And there was no formula put together for it because the government cannot just walk into the banks and tell the banks, give people 2% loans. The banks really cannot make money on 2%. So what is the formula for that unless the government subsidizes it?
Using the Dominica Housing Loan Board, they created a loan board, the government loan board, and maybe they're pumping the money in there and they're not using any local bank. It's their own organization, if you will.
So they're subsidizing loans basically, right?
Yep.
That's so the government of Dominica is now subsidizing again the public sector to give free loans. So basically they're giving free money to the people who work for the government. Let's just call it what it is. You're giving free money away.
Again, you don't think any bank would get involved in 2%?
No bank would do business for 2%, Matt. Any bank in Dominica right now, you go to them, the minimum loan that you can get is probably 5, maybe 6%. We can call a bank and verify that, but no bank's gonna do business for a 2% loan for 30 years. They would lose money. Yeah, there's only one way to do that. It's to subsidize the loans.
Oh, as it relates to the person dressed in blue, somebody said maybe I didn't see for myself. It's the Austin Lockhart from the Castlebrooks area. So yes, he was the one commending that everything is fine. On the telephone, are you there, caller? Yes. Greetings to you, sir.
Man, I'd appreciate if you could ask Mr. Scary to rise up
people's salary and give them the money every Friday. And so that canned stuff is good for all, not people. One,
You're saying that he's saying that his preference is maybe paying government. Would you agree, Andy, that Dominicans need to be paid every Friday? Can we go this way? Are you there?
Are we going back? Are we going back to being paid as daily wages, like daily workers? I mean, I thought we were progressing to a new system where things are better organized. And you know what? To tell you the truth, Matt, again, I'm appalled at this budget. I hate it. I don't use hate often, but I hate it. And for the simple reason, again, this is an insult to Dominicans. And anybody who's not insulted by this budget, Matt, is prejudice. And I'm going to tell you why it's an insult. Here it is that Mr. Scarrett feels like giving people handouts. And this really is a handout. I'm giving you a handout from October till about May is better than raising Dominican's salary, than giving people livable wages. I do not want Mr. Scare's goddamn handout at all. I want him to give people livable wages. You can go buy your own corned beef or your own sardines or your own tuna. I would like him to raise people's salary, raise the public sector. Instead of giving people 2% loans, which is not a loan at all, by the way, because interest cost of living accumulates at 3%. You cannot give somebody a 2% loan. That is giving them free money. Instead of giving people free money, Matt, why doesn't Mr. Scarrett concentrate on giving people in Dominica livable wages? Give them increase. Do not give them handouts. This government is constantly, Matt, insulting people by giving them handouts. And everybody is talking about it. Everybody talks about, well, what about this handout? And what about this handout? I do not want handouts for my people. I want livable, earnable wages. I want people working to make the money. I do not want to find out that public sector servants are getting 2% loans. And you know who will get those loans, Matt? And you know who will do better? It's all the people with the larger salaries in government. It is not the person who mow in the yard in the ministry. It is not the person who washing their cars.
He says for anybody that owns $45,000 and less. So that's his point there. $45,000 EC and less.
Anybody who's making $45,000 or less?
Or less, yes. That's the point he was trying to draw there.
Is it per month or is it per year?
Per year.
Matt, our people are making 50 EC dollars per year, 50,000 EC dollars per year, and you think that's a livable wage? That's less than 20,000 US dollars per year. That is not a livable wage, Matt. We need to have, Matt, and I don't know, I'll bring this up for you real quick because I never heard you talk about. Do you notice in the budget reconciliation, he also added the fact that he was going to have somebody look into the fact that they were going to raise wages for people or raise the minimum wage? Did you see that in there?
He didn't give an exact amount, but he said, yeah, sometime they're gonna review it and they look at looking at
Matt,
raising the minimum wage.
Matt,
That promise.
But Matt, how many times in the past has he promised this? Just between the two, how many? Is this the first time that we're hearing about somebody who's going to review it? We heard that 4 times already in the last year, that he was going to form a committee, that he was going to form a budget, that he was going to form a group to increase people's wages. Matt, you don't need a group to increase people's wages. St. Kitts just increased the living wage for people. St. Lucia just increased the living wage for people. It didn't take them 3 years to do it, Mr. Scarrett. Dominica has the lowest minimum wage in the Caribbean. How long is it going to take you? It obviously shows Mr. Scarrett insults the Dominican people and has very little regard for the working population of Dominica.
Somebody says, man, I agree with Andy. Too many handouts in this damn country. This is what somebody's agreeing with you.
Matt, it's a handout. The whole budget is a handout. I'm going to give them cheap housing. I'm going to give them sardines and corned beef, and I'm going to give them this and give them that. And I'm thinking, just pay me my money, pay me good living wages,
So
make
would you agree that
Dominica
there
work.
may be an election budget?
Matt, I don't think this is an election budget. And if this is an election budget, Matt, I'm going to tell you I'm insulted. If what Mr. Scarrett is offering us for a vote is canned corned beef, mackerel, sardine, and tuna, I'm insulted. I'm going to tell you that right now. This better not be an election vote, because if Dominica votes for Mr. Scarrett and he gives us canned corned beef, mackerel, and sardines, and one more canned food and peas and free toilet paper, I will be insulted that people voted for him. I'm going to tell you right now.
In a few minutes, we'll wrap it up with the outspoken Andy Jolly on the telephone. Hello, talk to me. Yes?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Again, I want to say, talking about $45,000 a year. Must I ask again? Must tell me how many public servants with the salary they getting? Whether it's 2%, tell me how many people can build a house on $45,000 a year. Matt, you renting a house. I said already, you have to buy the land. You have to take a loan to buy the land. You have your other commitments. You have your liability. Matt, tell me how many public servants can build a house, whether it's 2% on $45,000 for you. Tell me, Matt. You need the salary has to be increased. That's not a joke. Anybody is paying my $45,000 a year to build a house. How you paying the loan? And how you going to eat? Oh my God, man.
She makes a lot of sense, Andy. $45,000.
Well, that's what we're talking about. $45,000, no money. So the only people that are gonna benefit from those loans, Matt, is the higher paid people in office, which are the ministers that just got the increase of close to 20 to 30%. The ministers gave themselves an increase, and all these other people with the high wages. Those people are gonna be able to walk into the bank and they're gonna buy this and buy that, and they're gonna get free money. It would have been better if Mr. Scarrett did something for the entire Dominica. Too many times he's walked on stage and all these things that he does are for his business partners, and they're discriminatory to just the people that he wants to help. We need to stop that, Mr. Scarrett. Do not discriminate against your own people. You should be smarter than that and be a better person than that. I am appalled at Mr. Scarrett's behavior for insulting us with the canned budget and with the discriminatory processes that he's using to select people who should get and people who shouldn't get. That is
Hold on, Andy. We got
discrimination.
another call there. Hello, yes?
Hello,
Yeah,
hello,
hello.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
But let me. One thing I have to say. I agree for the government to wait to raise the increase of the minimum wage. But the honest truth is, as a business person, the economy is not booming. And tell me if I have a restaurant or I have a business, how I am going to pay my staff when I am not making that certain amount of money. The economy is very bad. Number one, when you look at Roseau, by the time it's 5 o'clock, Roseau is closed down. Matt, I live in St. Lucia for years. We are behind time. Matt, I don't know when last Dominicans have ever get any income tax return. I am not hearing about that. It is bad. It is really, really, really bad here, because if he go and raise that, it's going to bring a problem because the economy is not doing good. Number one, when the airport finish, if it finishes, I'm not too far from the airport. I see what is going on. Now, how many people in Dominica can afford to travel? Take a plane. It's bad communities. The economy is the most important thing to be doing. Agriculture is dead. Not the amount of plantain I have here in Marigot, the amount of food I have here, the amount of pears, the amount of breadfruit. Plantain on the tree is just wasting. We don't even know what to do with it. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. This person doesn't sound very optimistic, Andy.
Well, Matt, none of us do right now, and I'm going to tell you what Mr. Scarrett should be focusing on is investment in Dominica. We have given him time and time again, and I don't want to harp on Mr. Scarrett here, but I'm going to tell you, Matt, the leader needs to be punished. There is actually, Matt, and I'm going to give you this quick story because I'm
Punished?
actually
Is that what you want to use? Punished?
punished. Matt, in the I'm going to tell you, I'm up in deer country right now. I'm doing some fishing and hunting, and there's a rule that the deer that leads all the deers across the road, the deer goes out and it makes sure that it's safe for all the other deers to cross, and that deer makes sure that all the deer cross the road safely. If you see that leader deer does anything to injure the rest of the group, that deer is excommunicated and is punished by the other deers, because that leader is supposed to make sure that it's safe and everybody can cross the road. And right now, our leader is failing us significantly. So I don't want to harp on Mr. Scarrett. That is not harping on Mr. Scarrett. I want the economy of Dominica
It's
fixed.
nothing personal.
It's nothing personal. I think the gentleman is incompetent. I wouldn't hire him for my business. And I'm going to tell you something, Mr. Scarrett. I don't want you to feel bad. I have fired lots of people before who are incompetent at running businesses. I have done it personally. And here's what I know. I can tell you that you might be incompetent at what you're doing, sir. Please stop failing Dominica. It shows by the way you're running the economy. It shows by the number of businesses that are closing down regularly. It shows by the police department not doing their work. It shows by all those different things that you're doing. He does not have a hold on it. And we keep putting more money into the prime minister's office and more money into the prime minister. It shows that the prime minister does not have a handle on anything except the Dominican money. We're begging for money. He's begging for loans. We're taking loans. We're not opening factories. We're not processing. Look at that lady. She's got bananas. She's got plantain. She has breadfruit. Where are the markets that we can export these to? We have not done our homework very well. It's been 20 years since we've been putting money into the prime minister office. And what do we have to show for it? Nothing. It's time we put the money into a different office and try something different.
The callers are still calling in. I'm going to give you what? How many more minutes? 5 more minutes and wrap it up.
And so
Hello,
that's
yes.
okay.
Talk to me.
Andy,
Yes.
when I tell Matt, he too like to swallow what they say. He just get angry with me. But I can understand if he's hearing it today. And Mr. Andy, you know we had three boats coming in. Can you tell us in what direction they went if they forget the way to Dominica? Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. You want to answer that question?
Well, I don't know which boats are coming in, but you
Well,
know
there was a promise of some boats a couple of years ago, and
I
we said one would be. I think it was the Minister of
Matt,
Trade, Mr. Douglas, who
Matt,
said one will be going north,
Matt,
traveling north, and one will be going south.
Matt,
So
I, 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 I don't know. I haven't seen the results of that. It is time that this government starts showing us some results. And this is all I'm saying here. We need results. We're tired of hearing what is going to happen. We're tired of hearing about this and hearing about that. It was just that we're tired. And the smart people are watching this thinking, hey, I could have done a lot better. I could have had other people do better. We need to understand that the people of Dominica need to get satisfaction. They need to get their money's worth. I suggest to everybody, and I am going to tell this myself, the office of the prime minister is not doing a very good job with the money. So we cannot be celebrating that the office of the prime minister is managing our money. This is not something good for our country. The office of the prime minister should be managing running Dominica. It should be managing how things are working in Dominica. It should not be sitting there counting how much money they can spend on different things to suit themselves. Just my analogy.
but Andy, if you had to use a few words or a phrase to describe this year's budget, what would you say? Because we have to
Uh,
wrap it up.
I would say it's a totally false budget because this budget is really basically a distraction for the Dominican people. I've told you it is a disappointment, and will use Delbert's Paris analogy. I am disappointed in it, significantly disappointed, and actually I'll go one step past Delbert, insulted by the budget.
Andy, thank you very much.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you.
All right. We've got to go though. Let's take it from the top. That was Mr. Andy Jolly, businessman Andy Jolly.
Power rules the world today. Power corrupts, they say. And absolute power corrupts you. Absolutely. It can change a man who has a heart of gold. Make him cruel, wicked, self-centered and cold. Many men in this land, many organizations fought for freedom and justice throughout the land. When they have power and authority, they don't give a damn about nobody. Prostituting the island to all and sundry, they peddling my people's right. Exploiting oppression, less freedom, more suffering. I wonder how we survive. Think it over, my friend. Think it over again. Think it over, don't vex with me, shut it. Think it over, I'm saying as I see. Oh, we can't live to buy. Murder the price too high. Malnutrition killing the children while we the adults starving. Yet the price is rising without control. Young man begging bread by the side of the road. And chamber of commerce in this land, I tell you, they don't give one down. The more we try to economize, the more cost of living rise. When they have power and authority, they don't give a damn about nobody. They prostituting the island, milking the land dry. They making my people starve, exploiting